right, problem 29. It says, which equation best represents this data set? So we want a line of best fit. Now, if it's linear data, meaning all the points are sort of in a straight line, we'll try to find that straight line. But I have a feeling this guy is going to have points that are sort of like that, like a parabola, a quadratic. Okay, if it's a quadratic, then it's got to be one of these two. These right here are of the form y equals mx plus b, so those would be a straight line of fit. Okay, they would be something like that. So what we're going to do is let's go plot all these points on Desmos and see what they look like. So to do that, let's come to Desmos, and here we are in Desmos. What we're going to want to do is put those numbers in a table. To do a table, we simply, right up in the top left here, there's a plus button. So I click the plus button and I say, hey, give me a table. Now, notice in the table it says x sub 1, y sub 1. We simply plot the points. Now, I've already done that, and here's what it looks like. So I plotted them, and here they are. Now, if you look, now you might need to pinch your graph in or pinch it out in case you can't see the numbers, but here you and I can see that this is a quadratic, it's a parabola. So right away, I know it's going to be one of these answers. Now, personally, I know it's going to be that because look where the y-intercept is. 0, negative 4.7. So I know it crosses that axis down at about negative 4.7. When x is 0, these guys would both cross out. So I do know that. I know it's going to be B. But let's go back and say, well, what if we didn't know that it was B? How do we do things? Okay, so if that's the case, we come back and we're like, well, how do I end up putting a line of best fit on a quadratic? I don't know how to do that. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to come and say, hey, give us a line of best fit. So I'm going to come in right here and I'm going to type the equation. Now, notice that we have to use y sub 1s and x sub 1s. A quadratic is like x squared plus so many x's plus that c value. So we're going to type y, and I need to put a sub 1 there so that it's looking at my data. Notice it says equals 6 element list. Now, I don't want to put equals. I want to put a little tilde there. Okay? And that means approximately because we're guessing. We don't know the exact equation. It's not a perfect fit, but we want the best fit there is. And now I'll put the a value because I don't know what goes in front of x squared. And I'm going to type x. I do want the sub 1. I got to remember the sub 1. Now you can just put caret 2, or you can hit this little guy and just put the little square on it and then come back in and see it did the squaring. And now you and I can say plus the number in front of x, we're going to call it b, x sub 1, and then you have a plus your c value. And here's what this now shows you. It gave you a line of best fit that hits it pretty nicely. We're like, well, what is the equation? Well, we have to look right here. It says, hey, the number in front of the x squared right there, that a is about a 1, okay? The b value right here in front of your x is about a 4.2. So if you and I come back and look at this, 4.2 in front of it. And then if we look, the c value, which is the key, is at about what? The c, which is that piece at the end, is negative 4.8. So you and I can see that's about right. So yes, we know it is B. So we have to learn to use Desmos. The other way, if you didn't have Desmos, you could just plug these numbers in and see which of these equations did they seem to fit in the best, which you would quickly see B would be your answer. But with Desmos, it's very helpful to do the table, and then we have to do this equation here. The key is you need to remember your sub 1s and your tilde right there.